Hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Reality TV Africa, where we review reality TV shows that I'm watching. And I'm back with another review of The Real Housewives of Nairobi, Season 2, Episode 10, guys. I usually do a rating of each episode before I start my review. And I'll tell you what, I'll give this episode a 6.5. I'm starting to feel like these episodes are really long, and the scenes that we're being given are neither here nor there, except maybe like there's usually always an event where something happens, and that event is what takes up the bigger chunk of the episode. The rest of the scenes are like filler scenes, right? So that's why I'll give it a 6.5, because even the event that we saw, Farah's event, was like it was the biggest chunk of the episode, and I don't know, there's not much motion going on, if you feel me. There's not much going on with the ladies. I feel like even some of the storylines are a bit forced. So I'll just talk about the parts that stood out to me. I'll start with the scene where we see Mine, her husband, and Zenah and Charles's friend Tiki come to some planetarium for a get-together, like a double date of some sorts. Well, Mine and her husband Charles didn't know that Zenah would be showing up with Tiki, but she did. And they're all like, how come you guys are together? What's going on? And in my head, I'm like, last episode Charles was talking about introducing them, and now they're hanging out. What's the big deal? I don't see why he's making it a thing. Like, yeah, they're grown-ups. They have not told you that they're hanging out. Who are they? Why should they tell you? It's like, why should they report back to you? They're not even like a thing. They're still figuring out whatever that thing is. So I felt like he was just creating issues out of nothing, in my view. Mine threw a bit of shade and said like Zenah has been saying some not so nice things about him, and then they're hanging out. But in my mind, I'm like, maybe she was saying those things when she was considering, him, and then now they're together, and that's that. Anyway, whatever, that was just, to me, was like, it was just, I don't know, I don't see why they owe them an explanation. Zenah and Tiki owe Charles and Mine any explanation. The other scene that stood out to me was when Dr. C introduced Vera to her friend, who's a venture capitalist, who's an investor. And I thought that was a really good gesture on Dr. C's part. I mean, these are the kind of things like now we want to see a bit more of, rather than just drama. Dr. C is genuine about, building a friendship with Vera, and I think she has this thing where if she likes you and you're younger than her, she mentors you. She tried the same with Mine last season, and I can see that's what she's trying to do with Vera. Well, the whole thing of her trying to be Vera's manager is a bit, I don't know. Vera says that Dr. C offered. Dr. C says that Vera asked her. Anyway, whatever the case, this scene was wholesome. I liked seeing, Vera got a chance to talk about her business on screen, which is why, most of these ladies are here to promote also their businesses. So kudos to Dr. C for this plug. And then what else? Oh, we see there's a scene I need to just talk about. It wasn't an important scene, but it was a scene that stood out to me because I know this lady, Natalie, Farah's event planner. She's my friend. I was so happy to see her, and girl, her business is called Soothe My Space. So she's, I guess, into bringing spaces to life, be it your home, an event. Yeah, so I'm so proud of my girl Nat. Go get it. I hope you get loads and loads of business referrals from this cameo. Yeah, proud of my girl. The other scene that stood out to me, what was the other scene? Let me refer to my notes. Oh yes, Dr. C takes Farah to Dr. Pancholi's clinic, Avani. Dr. C was like, gloves are off. I don't care. I don't like Zenah. I have no loyalty to Zenah. So I'm gonna bring Dr. Pancholi on the show, and it was very clear, and both Farah and Dr. C made it very clear that it's Dr. C who invited Farah to the clinic. And yeah, Dr. C sat down with Farah in the beginning and kind of just, they talked, they had a bit of a conversation, and that conversation to me was basically Dr. C telling Farah, girl, these babes are not feeling us, we are on one side and they're on the other, so just know that there's a lot of stuff going on that you should be aware of, and they're not feeling us. Yeah, in as much as Dr. C and Vera have their own individual friendship, Vera is more leaning to, Mine, Zenah, and crew. Speaking of crew, Regia was a no-show the entire episode. Yeah, I don't remember seeing her anywhere. I don't know if this lady is really suited to be on this show, but at this point it seems like she really is not showing up, which is just like, to me, anyway, she was a no-show once again. Yeah, and then we see obviously Dr. C get her M-Sculpt treatment. I'm curious about that treatment. Maybe I'll pay Dr. Pancholi a visit. He is my friend. I met him at the last launch for the Real Houses of Nairobi. When they launched season 1, I went and I happened to sit at the table with him. He's a really nice guy. We had fun with him. That was my first time meeting him. And yeah, so I can call him an acquaintance stroke friend. Yeah, anyways, yes, let's talk about the event. Farah's event. It didn't really have a name. And these ladies like to dub their parties or events a name. This one, I don't know. It didn't seem to have a name. Anyways, Dr. C shows up on time, but not in dress code. One thing she'll do is show up on time, but not wear what is requested of. If it's a color, or if it's a theme, or if it's a look and feel, she will not. She will purposely not do it. Not even for her seeming ally and friend Farah. Anyway, this event. Yeah, I think it was a disaster, just from the way everything went. From the ladies showing up late, Farah not feeding them. I guess for her it was almost like punishing them for showing up late, I think, because they're in a restaurant, you can get food, and if they don't come at the time the food is being served, the food can be kept aside for them. Nevertheless, Farah was like, you guys missed the time to eat, there's no food. Anyway, Vera and Zenah are like, you know what, we're gonna buy ourselves our own food, which they do, and they sit off to the side. And Farah is like, guys, join us, because the event is ending at 4 p.m. and Farah is a stickler for time. They'd been there from 11 a.m. These ladies showed up, late, like 1 p.m. Mine showed up at 2 p.m. Anyway, I think at some point, the host, Grace, convinced them to move back to the table. And then, there's a crowning game they were playing. I don't know, I didn't understand the game, because at some point, Mine was poking a rose in Farah's hair, and Farah was not too happy about that. Mine needs to be careful. She's being a bit too handsy, but I guess she knows who she's doing it to, because Farah won't get physical with her. Dr. C will not necessarily get physical with her either, but yeah, Mine needs to kind of chill on the physical contact things, like throwing things. We saw her throw tissues at Dr. C in the earlier episodes. Anyway, then we see, how did things pop off? Yes, Dr. C brings a casket. Look, that's a bold move on Dr. C's part. I believe maybe perhaps the reason behind her bringing the casket was to bury the beef, so to speak. I guess it was theatrics. It's just one of those things you do, to create a moment. But it didn't land well, and things went south quickly between her and Zenah. She accused Zenah of unaliving people. That's a huge accusation. I wouldn't take that lightly. Zenah's reaction was rather big. I don't know, guys. Chime in the comments. Do you think Zenah overreacted? Methinks Dr. C's accusations are very serious. She should have receipts to back up such allegations, because that is a crazy thing to say on screen, on a show that's gonna air in many parts of Africa. People abroad are gonna see it, you know. Yeah, that's a really huge accusation. Yeah, I don't know if Zenah is gonna press any kind of charges, but I think their contracts don't allow for such, for that. I don't think it does. All the same, Zenah lost it. She threw a glass of water on Dr. C. Dr. C was like, she tried to, you know, throw back water on her as well. Glasses that were being thrown at, you know, Dr. C was being thrown at cutlery and glasses and plates, and Zenah could not be contained. In fact, I could see the fear on Dr. C's face, because Zenah now was coming for her. Wig came off. Zenah's wig, I mean, girl, I was scared even for Mine, who was seated next to her, and she's, you know, fully pregnant at this point. Yikes, that was a lot. I mean, security had to come, production had to step in. And then we see next week's episode, Reja is back. And Reja is back also coming at Dr. C violently. Dr. C invited them for a trip, so I guess this is now the trip that they're going for. And yeah, Dr. C is bearing the brunt of a lot of physical attacks on her. It's a lot. Yikes, guys. I mean, the episode started with a disclaimer. When you see such a disclaimer, you're like, whoa, what are we about to watch? Anyway, guys, that's it for my review today. Like, subscribe, comment, share, so that the algorithm can push out this content and let people know that I'm over here doing these reviews. Guys, over here, we love reality TV, okay? And for now, I'll sign off, and till my next review, probably on Girls Trip next week. Yeah, guys, so see you and enjoy your weekend. Bye.